Now, please join me in welcoming Groceryshop's opening keynote, Global Head of Delivery at Uber, Susan Anderson. Susan will be interviewed by the founder and CEO at Tomorrow, Jordan Berke.
Thank you, and welcome. Good afternoon. Susan, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Lots of people in the crowd.
There are, and actually some congratulations are in order, Susan. You've recently been promoted to Global Head of Delivery, covering delivery for the Uber Eats business, Uber Retail Marketplace, all of your logistics services. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I joined Uber 9 years ago, launching Uber Eats in Brisbane. And so to go from that to now leading the whole global delivery business is really exciting.
Great things start in Australia, we think. So listen, Uber is having a moment. The momentum is palpable. In the last 90 days, you've added Dollar General to the marketplace. You've added Dick's, Sephora, Best Buy, in the UK, John Lewis. This week, you announced Aldi. Congratulations. Wow, the momentum's amazing. What has driven the tipping point for your marketplace business?
We are certainly on a tear. Not only is it my great team who are here in the audience, but we are seeing just this huge momentum. We've added over 1,000 retailers worldwide since the beginning of this year, and over 50,000 storefronts in the US alone, including, as you say, Aldi launching this week, and we are really delighted to have them on the platform. We continue to just break exclusives that competitors have held. Expect to see more coming as we get through the rest of the year and into the new year. And the reason is there is enormous product market fit with the consumers. We saw this in our restaurant delivery business when we first launched. Consumers getting that taste. You mean I can get anything delivered and I can have my favorite restaurant? And they're seeing it now with retail and with grocery. And so with that momentum, retailers are understanding it's complementary. They're able to see growth and able to access a whole new set of use cases by being on our platform.
But it is competitive. In the US, you've got major competition. In every market you're in as a retail marketplace, you've got great competitors. So from a retailer perspective, what is it that Uber is doing that's different to help retailers succeed? What's the above and beyond I get as a retailer on your marketplace?
I mean, Uber is unique. We don't just have a delivery business. We have an extremely large mobility business as well. And from our perspective, it means we think about our relationships with our merchants really quite holistically. And I'll give you an example. Walmart is one of our top retail customers. They advertise across a mobility business in order to get customers when they're coming to and from an airport or when they're arriving at a hotel. We then power their last mile logistics. We also work with them across a lot of their employee solutions and end-to-end logistics and leveraging the Uber app. And so we bring something that other delivery-only platforms can't bring, and that is the entire Uber ecosystem.
I love that. So let's set Walmart aside. They're often a unique animal, but think about any other retailer that you can point to that's benefiting from those differences and give us some details. What are they seeing as a benefit of being on the platform that you think represents this advantage?
I mean, so if we take a number of examples, when I think about our activations with Aldi, for instance, one of our things that we're doing as part of this launch is pop-up stores across the US. We are going to do that to introduce exclusive Aldi items and support with Uber activations, getting people to and from stores. We've been doing similar things with a number of advertisers. So working with our Albertsons team, we work with them holistically on our marketplace. They advertise both in our delivery app as well as our mobility app, and we help them with all of their logistics. And so we really do this with a number of our merchants.
It's great. I think the ride to store feature in our conversations really stood out to me. If I'm a retailer, I love selling online, but I really love selling in store. Both is a really nice combination.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk to our friends at Walmart, over 1 million rides trips a month to a Walmart store. And so We are the only platform where we can support you getting people into your store, into your checkout, as well as into your digital cart. And we're pretty agnostic about how we work. Happy to work on kind of vouchers and those supports and beginning to experiment on that in lots of creative ways.
Let's think about the consumer now in terms of differentiation. So when I'm a consumer shopping on the Walmart app for groceries, what is it that's different about that experience? How do you try to win for me as a consumer?
So we're trying to make sure we're very personalized. When a consumer arrives in our apps, whether that is an Uber Eats app or an Uber app, we try and think, what is the thing that they might need right now? And so if it's 7 a.m., and that's probably my Starbucks that I want to get delivered super quickly, but then making sure it's very tailored. On Sunday night, 6 p.m., that's our busiest time on the grocery side, where people are topping up for the lunches for the week ahead, and making sure that they have what they need for their family. But also then we think about the gifting occasions and these moments and events that all of us live through and our consumers live through. So I'll give you some fun stats. Valentine's Day this year was our biggest ever single day on Uber Eats. We delivered 150,000 units of flowers, the majority delivered from grocers and from those stores. A large portion of those were delivered after 11 p.m., and then again at 10 a.m. the next morning. So last minute lovers, I am here for you. I am keeping your relationship safe and sound. We see this kind of last minute Halloween candy, a lot of wrapping paper and sellotape around Christmas time, all of those moments. And so we're really trying to activate not only on the Rides app and saying, you've just landed into an airport. Do you want groceries when you get home? Or you've just come to the hotel. What did you forget? Of which I've always forgotten things. Personal anecdote, I took my son to a kung fu tournament. We got there, they had swimming pools, all of his friends were swimming, he didn't have anything. And so Dick's Sporting Goods brought to the hotel where we were some trunks, he was able to hang with his friends, and that's all courtesy of Uber Eats.
Love it. Love it. In addition to helping forgetful husbands and partners, how about the fresh side of the business? In grocery, fresh is the key category, drive stickiness. What are you doing to help make it better to shop perishable on the platform?
Yeah, it totally is. I spent my time making sure kind of over my career at Amazon as well as working at Coles in Australia, I understand how important freshness is as a grocery product. And so we've just launched a package of fresh innovation, both a freshness guarantee. We're continuing to work on our recommendation and helping our pickers choose their fresh items and making sure that we're building that trust, which Uber as well as our competitors need to do, because freshness and the quality of produce is essential within this market. But with that, we can really start driving the penetration into e-commerce, increasing from that 17% to something much larger when people realize they can reach out, they can top up their fresh groceries multiple times a week rather than having those bags of lettuces that they have to throw away and have waste because they've not eaten things quickly enough.
I love it. Fresh Tuesdays seems basic, but actually could be quite exciting for a consumer and a retailer. Let's switch gears, but stay with the consumer. AI. So Uber was the original AI company, right? Travis founded the company with the idea of press the button, the car arrives because of the data science behind it. But when I open the Uber Eats app today, I don't see a lot of AI experiences. What's your vision for how AI plays a role in the consumer experience in grocery or broader within the Uber retail business?
Yeah, it's fascinating. We're spending a lot of time talking about what are the consumer use cases and challenges that AI can best solve. I mean, we use AI extensively within the company at the moment, both from improving our search in multi-language to make sure that when somebody's searching for something, we find the best product for them. We're using it to create recipes. We're using it to create tailored marketing and tailored innovation that says to a customer, we think this is what you might want based on your shopping behavior, both on restaurants as well as in the grocery side, and continuing to innovate down that space. And so I'm sure this week there'll be a lot of conversations, a lot of new ideas coming, and we're really excited to see where that goes.
Let's stick on the topic for a minute. So one of your peers in the US, Instacart, is piloting an integration with OpenAI, the operator model. You can ask ChatGPT to shop for you, and it's clunky, but it can do it. What's your view on that type of user journey? Is that something Uber would be open to, or what do you expect over the months ahead?
I mean, Uber's a partnership company, and we work with partners worldwide. We've had relationships with Amazon via Alexa and all different kinds of channels through the years. We think this agentic AI will be really interesting, and we're exploring that and also working with a lot of partners in order to see kind of what do customers actually find useful. We're thinking that actually building the basket is going to be the area that customers will most want help with. And so it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Okay, good. Watch this space, in other words. Let's talk about merchandising. You grew up, as you mentioned, at Amazon and then Kohl's in Australia, and you love great merchandise. That's kind of your favorite within the business. What are you working on as a platform to just merchandise better and have the right item show up at the right time for a consumer?
I mean, there's a number of things that we're building out. If you begin to look across both of our apps, you're going to increasingly see landing places for shop. And within that, pointing people to the different verticals that we operate. We have groceries, alcohol, convenience, now a long tail of other retailers from beauty, health, as well as DIY, home, flowers, really long list. There's a few things we're trying to do. So one, for the merchants on our platform, when you land on the store page, we want this to look as much like your brand as your channels look. This is your space, and if you were to go into the app and have a look at Sephora's landing page, you are going to see their branding really extensively across that. And we're doing that with all of our merchants. We're making sure that we're integrating in terms of loyalty programs and membership programs. So again, when you land, you're able to see, this is what I'm able to access from this merchant. I can get the benefits that I'm used to getting, and it really feels like a native experience as much as possible. We're continuing to try and ensure that when we create our carousels or the different merchanting areas, we're using AI and personalization in order to adjust what that looks like. So when you arrive when it's around a holiday event or some kind of on weekends, it's game day, or if it's a Sunday night, we can anticipate what you might want to see. Are you looking for lunchbox favorites? Are you looking for bring me snacks for the game? Are you looking for any things that kind of link to past behavior as well as other trends that we're seeing across the merchant platform broadly, and ensuring that shows up holistically? And then we're also doing a lot of work to make sure the deals and the values that are so important to customers. I don't need to tell this room how important value, affordability is, and particularly in this market at this moment in time, trying to make sure that's really clear to customers that they can get benefit of the discounts and the value that our merchants offer in a really easy to use way.
Love it. Love it. So a topic that probably won't be talked about this week, but was a couple of years ago, super apps. Super apps are very powerful in Asia and a few other parts of the world, Latin America. Uber is probably the closest thing to a super app we have here in North America, right? You've gone from mobility to Eats to now grocery. Would you agree with that? And what is the outcome of being a super app on your retail business? Are there benefits to merchants and consumers? Are there drawbacks? Talk about that unique aspect of Uber.
I mean, like you say, people have talked about super apps for a year, and Uber's built it. We have that when you open our app, you can immediately see, am I taking a ride? Is it Eats? Is it Shop? What does that look like? And there's a lot of benefit to retailers and merchants because of that. We find over 30% of new customers into the retail division are coming from our Rides app, and we are able to target merchant propositions to those customers with very specific use cases in order to help drive growth. And it's about trying to unlock incrementality. We know that people are building their own e-commerce, and that is where people go for big basket shopping. What Uber Eats and what Uber can deliver is an incremental use case such that if somebody needs something and they are beginning to get this inflection of, I want it now, I don't want to wait 24 hours, or I don't want to schedule into different time periods. I just want to get something now. It's important to me. We can drive those prompts. We can drive an incremental sale and make sure that that's something that's landing on the merchants working with us. And that's where we see the power for what we're offering to the retail industry broadly. And we'll continue to work to make that really powerful.
I think that is very unique. You know more about me than any of the other grocery apps in the country, right? You understand when I'm traveling. You understand when I'm eating out, all these things that you know. So you're saying you're getting good at using those signals to introduce retail use cases to customers, and that's working.
Absolutely. And then think about kind of when somebody's in an Uber and they're going into a town, well, where do you drop them off? Well, maybe we drop the pin at the supermarket and then maybe they're going to pop in there. Or from a pickup, we could always suggest you need to be picked up from there. That could work really well. I think New Year's Eve, we sell an enormous amount of champagne on New Year's Eve because people are taking rides back from where they've been. They are using our product. We can use that in order to drive activations and really be able to tie these things together in a very unique way.
Very cool. Okay, let's think about something that I suspect is on the mind of every retailer in the audience, which is the marketplace versus my branded platform. That age-old strategic question of should I be growing on a marketplace or should I be focused on my branded platform? As you work with retailers, how do you advise them on that balance or that question?
What I say to the retailers, and I talk to my team about, is I see our role at helping retailers grow. Whether that is putting more people into your stores by working with you on vouchers for rides or thinking about kind of discounts to your members or giving kind of other benefits that you might have there. Whether that is powering last minute delivery so that through your own channels, you're able to deliver super fast, or taking advantage to the marketplace and the merchandising and acquisitions that we can support in order for you to get new customers onto your platforms. And by the way, by integrating with your loyalty program, you can see where your customers are shopping, and we're really comfortable with that. We can also run advertising campaigns across the whole platform. And so we're pretty agnostic, and we're also the only platform that can put people in your stores, that also kind of add to your digital cart and help you grow holistically. And that's where we see our role playing.
That's pretty exciting.
I think so. I hope so.
The balance is always something that retailers are trying to achieve. And so being able to help them drive their branded platform and their store business is pretty incredible. You're around the world. I think you and I talk from a different country every time we connect. You work in 30 countries. What country do you think best illustrates the potential of the Uber Eats platform as a retail marketplace? Give us an example of where in the world you're proudest. Is it here? Where maybe outside of the US, because I think we know a lot about the US market.
I mean, there's the UK has always been a country which is pretty advanced in terms of e-commerce. You can probably tell from my accent, I'm pretty familiar with the UK industry. What we're seeing there is a very high degree of penetration of Uber customers into the retail division. In fact, we're seeing almost a third of customers who are using our platform for the restaurant delivery are also now using our retail solutions, and that is growing extremely fast. We're seeing merchants, what we're seeing from a number of the retailers in the UK is they're actually seeing higher spend per square footage in their stores because of the activation of Uber Eats as a platform for them. In some instances, retailers are only using Uber Eats and equivalent platforms for their e-commerce, but they're finding that the overall economics are improving as a result of it. And in Australia, that is another market where we're pretty advanced and deeply penetrated with customers using this product on a really regular basis. But Chile is actually the market with the deepest penetration. If you opened the Uber app in Chile, you would be able to order everything from fresh tomatoes to a new mattress and even a TV. And we see that as one of the markets that we are most involved in. And we think that that is where a lot of our other markets are getting due to the scale of growth that we're seeing right now.
Amazing. Chile is really the ultimate in Uber experiences. Good to know next time we're mountain climbing or in a beautiful country. Great. So we're going to wrap up in a minute. I want to give you a chance to think about over the next year as retailers think about 2026 and what's more, retailers and partners, CPGs and otherwise in the audience. What are you thinking you're most excited about in 2026? And what do you expect is going to change for Uber in the year ahead?
Yeah. I think this is an inflection point for customers. They are getting used to being able to get what they want super fast. And so I think what's exciting for everyone here and for us to think about is how do we help customers on that journey? I think that's going to bring incrementality. It's going to open share of wallet, particularly when people think about how much are they going to spend on potentially pre-prepared food versus groceries versus other pieces. And I think it makes e-commerce local. Rather than customers having to make that choice between, do I want the convenience of e-commerce, which means I'm using a platform and getting it delivered the next day, or can I shop from my local stores, have my neighbor deliver it, get that super fast and at a great price? This is the moment, and we can really build that out, and that's what's in front of us. So I'm excited to see that happen.
Amazing. Well, congrats again. Let's give Susan a warm round of applause, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck in the year ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jordan.
everybody.